Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So today I'm going back to Zelda 2, and I've been working on this one now for, I don't know, quite a while. My last stream of this game anyways, I finally got through I don't even know which palace I'm on anymore. I think I'm on the second last, or the one just before the last level. And I got all the way up to the end boss, but I got defeated. And I got to the point where I was just like, I was done for that night. I mean, I was just like, okay, I got everything else I needed, so I'm at that stage now where I just kind of got to go back there and kill this thing. Now, I noticed that there was a little bit of a pattern to beating this guy. He's the one where it's like you got these 3 platforms, and the dude's just coming out in different spots. Really annoying. All he has to do is pretty much hit you once. If you're in the wrong spot, you're in the lava, you're dead. And if you know this game, then yeah, it's a real pain in the butt. And then when you die, you go all the way back to the beginning, and then you have to walk all the way back through. So let's just see who we got in the chat today. Okay, so we got Balmerny TV. Let's see, Simon Belmondo and Jim's Retro Zone. So we got a bunch of awesome people in the chat today. How's it going, Jim, Simon? Sorry, Balmerny, I think I'm pronouncing that right, if he's still in the chat. And anybody else that's gonna drop in while I'm playing. My computer's kind of meh to begin with, so it's best to not have things interrupting my computer performance, because then it will affect my stream. Oh, looks like Balmerny TV is still here. Okay, so we are going to start playing some Zelda 2. Yeah, this is where you always end up starting off every time you die. No matter where you are, once you lose all your lives, you always come back here. This is kind of the frustrating thing about this game, especially when you start getting used to things like A Link to the Past, which I was playing earlier. I've been doing that on my own. Just I haven't been recording it or doing any live feeds or anything like that. Just playing it on my own, just for fun. And you know, you kind of get used to the different save spots, the save states that it gives you in that game. Especially if you know you're bouncing between the light world, the dark world, and the map is so huge. I haven't decided if I'm going to. Oops. I haven't decided if I'm going to tackle the N64 Zelda or not. The Ocarina of Time. I've never completed it yet, so it's something that I have to at least one time in my life complete. So, so Simon Belmondo is asking, did I ever find the magical key? Yes, that was, I think I did that on my last one. I finally, yeah, the stream I did before the last one, I couldn't find the magical key. I was wandering all over the place, and I had no idea where the magical key was. And I was in the right area. I was actually in the town. The magical town, the hidden town, or whatever it was called. You have to blow this flute thing just to make it appear. And there was the elders and all that stuff in the village, and the lady didn't want to let me into the house, and I couldn't figure out why. And it just turned out that I needed one more magic decanter thing, or another magic thing to get in. And it just turned out that I just totally forgot where one of the secret magic containers were. And I had to Google it because I was lost. I was totally lost. And I mean, that's fine. I used to do that in the past as well, where I used to, you know, you get stuck on a game, especially these type of games, you kind of have to go to the hint books. And I just looked up the magic containers because I'm like, I don't remember leaving one behind, and sure enough, yeah, there was one I missed, and it was in the in that lost, or in that kind of maze area where you get the kid. It's kind of in that area. I just kind of didn't go that path, and I didn't find it. Balmerny TV saying, I know this game like the back of my hand if you need any help. Yeah, Kasuto. That's the town. The hidden town of Kasuto. Yeah, we definitely could have used your help last time when I was lost. I felt so stupid. It's like, I've completed this game in the past. It's not like I've never completed this game before. It's just, it was so long ago that I actually, you know, really tried playing this game again. And, of course, I forgot where everything was. So it was like, almost like re-exploring the game. When you get older, your memory starts to get shot. Although I think with games like Mario 3, I probably have that still mapped in my brain. And the first Zelda 1 for sure. This one, not as much. I didn't play this one as much as I played Zelda 1. I always felt this game didn't have the replayability that Zelda 1 had. I guess, like, you know, Zelda 1 has that second quest and multiple ways of playing it. This is a little bit more linear. Almost like Dragon Warrior. Once you beat it, you kind of don't want to keep going back and playing it again. Until, you know, some good time has passed. Just like this, where enough time passes and... Oh, that's good. Jim's Retro Zone is doing fine. Glad you can make it into the chat. I know sometimes I'm off with some of the people who like to watch, and my timing is off for people who are busy or working, or... I know Green Lantern always likes to come in on these, and he always comes in either late or after the fact, and likes to leave a comment that he missed it. So we'll see if Green Lantern HD can make his way in today, or tonight. Well, it's night for me. I don't know for the rest of you guys, but it's about 9 o'clock on a Sunday night for me. Holy crap. I'm waiting for one of these to actually appear as a medicine, or what do you call it, magic thing. There we go. I always like to fuel up as best as I can. Full. Well, almost full. I don't know. Whatever. Wow. So, Boomer Need TV is at 2 a.m. Monday. Yikes. Yeah, Rex Warden usually jumps in on these too. Simon Belmondo's mentioning. So, Simon has the same time as me, 9:09. That's pretty much my time. Oh. Okay, sorry, Jim. I didn't realize you said you are doing fine. I thought you said I am doing fine. Oh, Rex is here. Cool. Alright, now I have to remember the path I took. Rex is saying, I recorded some gameplay of this with barely audible commentary. Am I supposed to be going this way? Wait. I thought I had the master key. What happened? Huh. I did have the master key. Uh-oh. Did I not save the game? Well, that throws a monkey wrench in my plan. I might have actually got the key and went through all that and not saved the game. That really sucks. It was one of those things I kept telling myself, make sure I save the game. So I think what I need to do is just go back and get it. I don't think it's a big deal. I hate these guys. Yeah, I'm like, even though I'm clearly using an emulator here, I'm not doing save states. I'm just saving it through the real way of how you would save it on a real Nintendo. Oops. I'm not really doing the save state thing. I could, but feel it kind of takes away from the experience of the game. Like, oh wait, I gotta use the. What do I use again? Oops. I think I use the hammer thing here, not the flute. So where is it? There it is. Okay. Now, hopefully, I have the the magic. Or do I have to go all the way back? Huh. Well, this is a setback. Yeah, it's possible that I did hit save and it didn't work. Sometimes with emulators, you know. At least with emulators, you don't have to worry about the cartridge battery dying on you. Or I know I have so far out of all my games that have save ability in them, like that don't use the password thing. That actually save your game. The only one that's given me problems is a Game Boy game, and it's the Pokemon card game, the trading card game on Game Boy Advance. Oh, Rex is saying that he replaced the battery on his Zelda 1, but that was almost 20 years ago? Yeah, Jim's saying, I lost my container. It's like almost I didn't do anything. Yeah, it's like, this is just ridiculous. I have to like go all the way back. I don't know what happened. Rex is saying that he installed the CR2032 socket when I did it, so replacing the battery again will be easier. Okay, I'll pretend I know what that means. Yeah, that's the downside to these, you know, the physical copies of these, right? You, if you want to save your games and stuff like that, your battery on the cartridge can die. And, unless you know how to do that, unless you know how to, like, take the cartridge apart, you have the tools to do that. We're just gonna... I think I just gotta go back up and get that magic thing. I'm getting my butt handed to me, but that's okay. I'll go into town and get some health here. The magic lady. The battery is hard soldered into the cartridge, so you can put a battery holder to replace it. Ah. That makes sense. That's why I'm such a big fan of Atari. Classic Atari, you'll never run into that problem. Mainly because they don't save games. Good. I'm just gonna go back in one more time. You know, and that's the thing, a lot of my cartridges, I haven't played them in a long time, so I've played the games on like emulators just because it's just so much more convenient on my computer. Oftentimes my computer's set up upstairs with the lights and all that stuff, whereas everything downstairs kind of, you know, put away. But actually, I just got a new shelf set up, so I actually have my, I used to just have my Atari games. When you watch my videos, you'll see in my background there's shelf with Atari games on there. So I got another shelf, and I put some Nintendo on there, as well as Super Nintendo, and a bunch of other things. And N64. I don't have a whole lot of those, so it wasn't a big deal. Okay, let's get that magic container. It's around here somewhere. There it is. So now I can just go back and... Okay. And we're on our way. Oh. I guess I should take that. Why not fuel up when you can? Another thing I kind of got used to with the Link to the Past, being able to like save the fairies in the jars. I think that's a cool concept. And when you die, the fairy just comes out of the jar and then resurrects you on the spot. So I always make sure before I leave the Dark World area, I always get like 3 fairies caught in a jar. Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I was saying that too, Jim. Jim's Retro Zone's like, oh, save your game now. But, you know, I'm gonna try and get the master key and then save it. See what happens. Maybe I just didn't save it properly, or maybe I thought I saved it. Oh, so Breath of the Wild has you put the fairies in inventory, not in a jar. That's convenient. You don't have to find the jars. That was one of the other things with the Link to the Past. You have to find the jars first. Then you can put the fairies inside. Hopefully one day I'll actually be able to try that Breath of the Wild. It looks pretty cool. I definitely can tell you I don't have a Switch right now, and I don't really have plans on spending the money to get one. I looked at it, I'm like, okay, just to get the Switch, and then to get the Zelda game, I'm looking at about $5, and I just don't have that kind of money to drop into modern gaming like that. I don't even know how many other games I'd even want off the Switch right now, so... Oh wait, I need to be going up, don't I? Where am I going? I'm going the wrong way. Gotta go up this way. Although I heard, or I know, something like the Breath of the Wild's also on the Wii U. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I've heard also that originally it was supposed to just be released on the Wii U, but it got pushed to the Switch. At least this is what I've heard from other YouTube people. Could be wrong. Game's going kind of nuts here. Hold on. Oops, wrong button. There we go. Rex has a Wii U and Breath of the Wild. So you have Breath of the Wild on the Wii U? Is that what you're saying? And is it the same? Like, is it exactly the same as the Switch version? It's just on the Wii U. Yippee. Okay, so I gotta get to that guy and he gives me the spell. It's identical, eh? Same game, crashes less frequently. Oh, that's a good thing to know. At least, where I go. They pretty much just have the Switch. I guess I should... Oh, right. Billy O just came in. How far along are you through this Zelda? Well, I got pretty far, but I just had a setback realizing that my, what I thought my game saved, it didn't save, so I kind of had to go back and redo it. Which is a pain in the butt. Because I went through the other palace and everything. Rex Warden saying that Twilight Princess HD, Waker HD, regular Wind Waker, or Ocarina, Master Quest, Skyward Sword, Link to the Past, Zelda 2, 1 season. Is that all on the Wii U? See, I bought the Wii. I don't think the Wii U was out yet when I bought my Wii, but it was starting to come down in price. And so I was able to actually, you know, sort of justify it. And they were a little bit easier to get your hands on at that time. And I ended up picking up a Wii. There we go. And I just wanted the Wii because of the Wii Sports. That was what I wanted the Wii for. The Super Mario Brothers Wii looked cool too, so I grabbed that one, and a couple of other oddball games like Back to the Future. What else did I grab? Impossible Mission on the Wii. That's cool. If you're familiar with Impossible Mission, that's a I played on the Commodore 64. I should go to the Magic Lady. And I was stoked to get it on the Wii. But I found it a little bit trickier because of the Wiimote. Not easy. Rex has the Wii because of Metroid Prime 3. That was a mistake. At least it functions as a GameCube with cheaper component support. It's true. Something I always considered, that it does function as a GameCube. But I believe you have to have a controller, right? You need a right kind of controller for that. You can't use the Wiimote or whatever, because the GameCube had a more extensive gamepad to it. So I think there's like a gamepad you can buy, or you can actually connect a real one to it, something like that. Okay, so I got everywhere now. Okay. What do I need to do now? Where am I? Try and save my game. That's what I should do. See if I can save it. Hopefully it saves it. Guess I'll see. When I die, I'll try and save it. Oh yeah, I gotta power up. Crap. Life is... Dude appear now? Okay, so we need life. Now, the other thing was, is there an item in this palace? I don't remember. Was it something I had to get? Crap. I probably did get something out of here. remember spending a lot of time in this palace. What was the item, though? I see a blank space in my inventory, so I must be missing something. Oh yes, that's right. The cross. That's what I gotta find. See, that was something I actually grabbed last time, and it didn't save. So I gotta find the cross. I think I'm going the wrong way. I have a bad feeling about this. It's a dead end, isn't it? Yeah. I gotta go the other way. Gotta fall down a hole. To the right, 2 screens. All the way down to the right without falling down a hole. I really hate these guys. You need the reflex spell just to beat them. I don't have the patience for that. I don't think I've ever mapped this game out, too. I think I just went through the grueling task of just trying to memorize it as I played it. He's kicking my butt. Oh, too slow. Come on, just fall down the hole. Fall, fall. There we go. Okay, so I think I gotta use the jump spell to get over that. There we go. So I think I gotta go this way to get to the key. Do I go down or across? Right. Let's just go down. Of course, this might be the wrong way, but hey, what can you do with it? I have to go back up, don't I? Aye. If I'm going the wrong way, I'm going the wrong way. What can I do? I think everybody's telling me I should have went right. Oops. Yep, should have went right. Should have went right. Ah. It burns. Wait. Let's go back up. Ah. Jeez. Okay. I think I have to use the jump spell though. Ah. Do it. If I could at least get the key. Is this where you fall through the floor? Like the third thing or something like that? Dang. I remember last time when I did this, I used the ferry just to see where the hole in the floor was. But then I couldn't get any further with the ferry, because there was a wall. was after the third statue. Crap. I don't have enough for life now. I think though I'm gonna have to face a bad guy and not gonna have enough power to get through him. It's really unfortunate. Let's try if I can jump her. Oh no! Oh! Gonna have to come back. I'm not gonna beat him. Alright, let's see if my save state works now. Please work. Did it work? Looks like it. I got the key. I think you have to use the reflect spell. Oops, wrong button. So what are they saying? Reflect sends it back and kills them. You can block it though. Oops. I'm trying to read and walk through the path at the same time here. You don't reflect the spell, you just block it. Okay, I'll try. I didn't think it worked though. I thought the wizards, whatever those things are shooting at you, went right through the shield. That was the whole point of the reflect spell, but I could be wrong. Well, at least my game's saved. That's the important thing. I was kind of worried there. Like, what if my emulator file's corrupt or something? That I could never get too far. There's no way I can keep going and doing all that again. Unless I sat up all night. Still deciding after this one what I should stream next. I was really considering, the one I'm actually considering is, what's it called? Link's Awakening? Is that the one? The Game Boy one. Yeah, because this one's called The Adventures of Link, or The Adventure of Link or something. The Game Boy one's Link's Awakening, where he wakes up on the shoreline. Yeah, that's right. Boomerny TV says Link's Awakening has a save, or Zelda 2 has a weird save feature where you have to die just to save. Yes, it is. It's true. You can't just quit. You have to, like, die. You have to kill all your lives. So if you have 3 lives, you have to kill them all, just so you can save your game. It's not very convenient, like, especially if you have to go in a, you know... Jacob Downey says he's gotta go. Wish he could stay. Be back another day. Alright, take care, Jacob. Thanks for dropping into the chat. Ow. Hurting here. Hurting. Okay. At least I got the key. Okay, give me some... There we go. Give me some life. Okay. Oh, keep it on life. Alright. So now I have to go back to that hole. Okay. So I guess we confirmed that the shield does block those things. This whole time I've just been taking it like I didn't have a choice. Kinda dumb. guy is really annoying me. I really hate the Blue Knight. I'd say out of all the enemies in this game, this one's my most hated one. Not only is he hard to kill, he keeps throwing those stupid knives. Or daggers, or whatever the heck he's throwing at you. Ah, there's another one. Obviously that wasn't the right way. Jeez, they're everywhere in here. Just keep jumping over them. These guys that remind me of the Medusa heads in Castlevania. Really annoying. They swoop down and just like knock you into the lava. Life. Wait a minute, where am I going? Am I going the right way? I think I'm heading towards it. Oh. I forgot I still have to go for the cross. Oh well. Either way, let's see if I can get through it. I think I'm going towards the end boss now. Yeesh. I always get lost in these palaces. I don't know why. My sense of direction is just awful. Yeah, because I was supposed to go the other way. Gotta fight another one of these guys. I think they just put these guys in here because they know they're annoying. Like, here, fight another one of these guys. And another one. And one on a horse. I don't know if it's worth it using the shield spell or the jump spell for this. I think last time I tried to use the jump spell, I started jumping too high. The shield spell might be a good idea, but I also don't want to waste magic when I need it for things like life. It's the other thing I miss about, you know, the first Zelda anyways, giving you those rings that automatically made you stronger. You didn't have to use a spell or anything like that. Come on. Running away makes it difficult too. He always runs off the screen. Come on. Okay. All that for a key. Don't even need a key. It's like, what's the point in having that key there when you pretty much can't even get there unless you have the master key anyways? Oh yeah, this, I have to get up there. Okay. I think I have to fall and then jump. Ah, my jump didn't make it. Crap. Oh, I was supposed to use the fairy. Shoot. Which way do I go? Not that way. This way. Yeah. I'm supposed to use the fairy at that point. Back up we go. Yeah, the jump stab is the only way I know how to really kill those guys. Sucks being all the way back down here. Can you use the ferry going up? I think so, maybe, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think you could leave, I don't think you can go up above the screen though with the ferry. Now you gotta use the ferry here. Oh, come on. Alright, next time I gotta make sure I get them ready. Enough time to obviously switch between the two. Well, okay, I have one more life anyways. That's the thing, this is why I've already done all this before, and now I'm like doing it all again because the game didn't save. So it's kind of like a repeat of last stream. Not exactly what I was planning on doing today. I'm on ferry now. Oh, maybe I don't have enough magic. That could do it too. You need 40. Ugh. I don't have enough magic to get to the ferry. This is not good at all. Again, my point of not wasting magic. Shoot. Does this mean I have to die just to get my magic reset? I'd say that's part of what adds to the frustration of this game, is they really don't give you a lot of power-ups. I mean, as far as like, you know, Zelda 1 and actually a lot of the Zeldas, they kind of give you enough power-ups as you play the game. This one, that don't really give you anything. Like in Zelda 1, you know, where killing enemies drops the hearts. In this game, you don't really have that. Yeah, Jim's Retro Zone's like, you can just delete the last stream, it never happened. I can't remember what's on to the right, though. I know I used to... There we go. Don't think there's much past beyond that point, so... It really sucks that I don't have any lives left now to go after this guy. Because I screwed up. This is all just pattern. I mean... Oh! Knowing where to stand and where to jump. I'd say this is the easiest part here when he's over here. I'd rather just get the heck out of his way. Ah. Wait for him to come back here. Just like that. Just keep stabbing away at him. I found the more I tried to jump around on different platforms, the more I just messed myself up and fell. Oh, I missed him. That didn't go over very well. It's so easy to like just get knocked into that lava. There we go. Slow and steady wins the race. Luckily, his fireballs aren't really sporadic. They're not like random, or they don't shoot at different angles every time. Oh no, I jumped wrong. I jumped too early. Yeesh. Okay. Well, at least I know where I'm going now. Kind of. Starting right back here. Well, at least in this game they give you these shortcuts with the boulders and stuff where you can break through them and you don't have to go through everything. I'd say with this game, the difference in, you know, from other Zeldas is this one, more of the challenge is being able to defeat the enemies than it is of figuring out where things are. There's not the, not as much mystery in this game as to where things are. You know, in the first Zelda where you gotta put bombs everywhere, and you gotta look for caves and try all different things, and even A Link to the Past to some degree, you gotta figure out where everything is. In this one, it's just mostly just being able to defeat the enemies. They're bringing the whole Nintendo heart to this. You can imagine being in the days when you would have rented this. Luckily, I didn't have to rent this one. My friend had it, so we swapped games. I can't remember what I gave him, but I had a game that he wanted. So we swapped games just for, you know, just to try them out. Because I never rented this one. I probably would have not got very far if I just rented it. Paying like $5 a pop or whatever it was at the time. Just to rent a game. Get nowhere. Looks like we have someone else. Primarinia? Primarinia? Trying to pronounce that, sorry. I'm totally botching your name there. Primarina? Is that it? Primarina? Don't make me pronounce names. Okay, let's see. 2-day rental, $5. That sounds like it would have been a Blockbuster dealio. Maybe. When I first started renting Nintendo games, it was back when, whoops. I meant to life up first. I don't think, Blockbuster was around yet. And I used to rent, at like a local rental store. In fact, I used to rent movies there before the whole concept of renting games even came into effect. I know, because a friend of the family worked there, so... I used to go in there, it was like on my way home from school, pretty much. I'd just like pass in there and see what games they have for Nintendo. I didn't see a lot of games back then, so it's cool to go into the rental store and see what they had. Oops. The whole concept was still foreign to me, the idea that you're renting a video game. Almost had him off the cliff there. There we go. Should I go for the cross? Yeah, let's go for the cross. I'm gonna need it anyways, right? Boomer need TV. I guess you're a bit older than me, being an Atari fan? Yeah. I grew up playing the Intellivision, which was like the competitor to the Atari, I guess you could say. I didn't have an Atari when I was a kid. But I had the Intellivision, and then the Commodore 64. Yeah, Rex is saying the same. You know, he's older than most, he just doesn't look it. I think a lot of people don't realize, jump. Go for the cross. Okay, gonna use the jump again. So, whoops. After the third one, somewhere around here. There it is. You can see where the fire went through. Oh, jeez. No! The button didn't work. I had the jump timing right, too. Come on. Get out of my face. There we go. I think I'm dead. I think I'm dead. I'm definitely dead. I'm dead. Oh boy, am I dead. Well, Atari... Well, okay, so Rex is saying Atari was run by idiots. I would say Atari was run by a lot of businessmen who just cared about business and didn't really care about video games. Jeez. It's like everything's coming at me there. That would be my thought, was, like, they were businessmen. These people were not gamers. They didn't understand gaming, I'm sure a lot of them. To them, it's just a, you know, this Atari machine is printing money, and that's all they looked at. And the other problem with the Atari, and that's when a lot of stuff got out of hand, because now all of a sudden they're able to say no. You pause and press up and A on the controller to save, but it counts as so the that's where Atari sort of went to that downhill slope. I don't think it was idiots running Atari. I think it was just it was also just a money game to them, and they didn't understand that the games need to still be fun, playable, and make sense. Great, I gotta try and beat him without any magic. This is why we ended up with a lot of these, like, strange third-party games that are, like, goofy or stupid or boring or whatever. From what I understand with Nintendo is they kind of controlled the aftermarket, or the third-party market. They tried anyways. But if you notice, like the Atari, the best games from the Atari pretty much came from Activision. And that's where a lot of the best programmers who worked for Atari pretty much had enough of them and branched off, made their own company called Activision. Started giving credit where credit was deserved, you know. Giving the programmers the credit they you know, so rightfully deserved. Because they were like, you know, who cares about the programmers? This is all about us making money. Stop running off the screen, you chicken. There we go. Now can I have my cross, please? There's just a key. I don't need... Stupid key. The thing I always say is a shame is that the Atari 7800 didn't get what it deserved. Because I think the Atari 7800 had the capabilities to compete with Nintendo. In fact, it should have been released before Nintendo. Because of all these problems with the business side of it. I think something to do with, was it Jack Trammell or whatever, the guy who owned Commodore, was causing problems, and they ended up with the 5200 instead, which, you know, a lot of people still say is a great system. It's just, it had its fair share of problems, and it wasn't backwards compatible, didn't play the 2600 games. The controllers, obviously, being the big thing with the 5200, a lot of people don't like them. And there's not enough aftermarket controllers or any other controllers that you can plug into the thing, because it had its own proprietary ports. But, yeah, that was what happened. And even though they made a movie, Cloak and Dagger, which like heavily supported the 5200, I don't think that was enough to keep it alive. And of course, after that, they tried the 7800, and it was just too late. By the time the 7800 came out, games were going beyond the classic gaming. Nintendo was like in full swing. They had Super Mario Brothers. People didn't want Miss Pac-Man and Dig Dug and, you know, stuff like that anymore. They wanted these newer games. They wanted the Zelda. They wanted Mario, Castlevania. They didn't want, unfortunately, the old Atari-style games. So, too little, too late. In fact, I remember as a kid, I didn't even hear of the 7800 until much later, when my friend, his mom actually won one in a contest, and we had no idea what it was. She won it, and she got the box, and we were like, what's the Atari 7800? What the heck is this thing? Of course, we were, at the time, we were big Commodore 64 fans, so we stuck primarily to that, but we also had the Nintendo. So getting this Atari 7800 was kind of weird. We're like, what is this thing? And it didn't have in the American version, North American version, didn't come with the gamepad. Like Nintendo gamepad, it came with a weird-looking joystick. Yes, Boomer TV, sorry. He's raising a great point there about the video game crash not being in Europe. And I think a lot of people don't realize that the video game crash was an American thing, a North American thing, not all over the world. There's a lot of other countries that the video games are still going strong. You know, for us, I think here in North America, the video game crash kind of affected more of the consoles. We still had the computers going strong. The Commodore 64 was still going. I still remember going into lots of stores and seeing Commodore 64 games everywhere. It was more of the Atari, Television, ColecoVision. They all couldn't handle the crash. They were all done, because making cartridges during those days were really expensive compared to, say, Commodore, where everything was done on disc. They did have cartridge, but they didn't need it. In fact, the cartridges were pretty much more inferior to the discs, because they could only hold so much. And let's be honest here, anybody that had a Commodore 64 pretty much was full of pirated games. I mean, all the games I play with on my Commodore 64, most of them anyways, are pirated. You would go to your friend and they would copy 1 billion games for you on blank discs. Okay, Jim's Retro Zone's gotta go. Thanks for dropping by, Jim. Hope you have a great night. See you in the chats tomorrow on Facebook. And wherever else. Oh no. I was gonna die there. Yeah, Jim's a great guy. If you haven't checked out his channel, he does a lot of gameplay as well. So far he's been doing quite a bit of Atari stuff. Oh no! And actually some of his videos, he uses them to submit to Twin Galaxies. Because he's a pretty good competitive player. And getting high scores. Something I'm not good at. In fact, most of the time I don't even pay attention to my score when I play games, so... Okay, I'm having a hard time here. One group that, well, he frequents, and I frequent as well, is Atari Age on Facebook. So if you're in Facebook, and you like the Atari stuff, you should be in that group. And they do, like, challenges and stuff every week, pretty much, of Atari games and stuff. 2,600 anyway. Let's see who can get the highest score. I've probably only done one of them. I think it was for Hero. I didn't get very far. It's amazing how many people in that group can roll the score counter. I mean, just roll it over back to 1. It's crazy. I get like a score of like 500 and they're like 999,000 back to 1. Was it this way? Was it right? Yep, I forgot already. Oh yeah, okay, here's where I gotta do the fairy thing again. Okay. Get ready to hit the fairy. Just fly over everything. Now, I'm not too familiar with many of the other Zelda games. Beyond the Ocarina of Time, that was probably the latest one that I've ever played. Never played it on the Wii or anything else, or I haven't played the Wind Waker, or even some of the later Game Boy ones. But does Link ever turn into a fairy ever again? Or is it only in this game that he becomes a fairy? Okay, what do I want? Do I want anything? I don't think I need anything. No. Just myself. Like, is this the only time that Link ever becomes a fairy? Try and take this one slow so I don't jump into the lava again. I got one more life if I do. Start going crazy. Ah. See, they were talking a little bit about the Commodore 64 there in the chat. I mean, that's probably the one computer system that I spent the most time on. And I believe, if I've read correctly, Commodore 64 was like the best-selling computer so far ever. I don't know if any other computer's been able to outshine it. But it did run for quite a long time in the 80s, and a lot of people did have one. At least a lot of people I knew had one. If they didn't have a Commodore 64, they had to pick 20, which was its predecessor. And even in school, I mean, I remember in, you know, junior, oops, what was it, junior high or whatever? Oh, I missed we had a lot of classes did have a Commodore 64. But it would be like one per classroom. It wasn't like, you know, everybody had one. But then when I got into, trying to remember what grade it was. It was grade 6. We actually had a computer lab full of Commodore 64s and 128s. There was a Commodore 128, but I believe we just used the 64 mode on it. So the Commodore 128, you can actually boot it up into Commodore 64 mode. So I didn't really use the Commodore 128 as a 128. You just like press a button or something when you turned it on, and it would boot up as a Commodore 64. Kinda neat. I always liked backwards compatibility. One of the things that Nintendo really didn't do was backwards compatibility. I mean, well, I guess until like the Wii or whatever, when they allowed GameCube on there, and to some degree Super Game Boy, allowing you to play some Game Boy games on your Super Nintendo. But that's not really backwards compatibility in my book. That requires a whole new expansion module and stuff. I'm talking like real backwards compatibility, like Atari 7800 being able to play 2600 games. Having the exact same cart slot. Got this guy. One more shot. Maybe two. Maybe two. Well, that's interesting. The SNES was planned to be backwards compatible, but it didn't work out. I wonder why. I mean, it's great that they changed the cart size of the SNES. I always felt that the Nintendo carts are just way too big. They take up a lot of space. They're massive cartridges, and if you open them up, they really don't need all that plastic. I think the Super Nintendo, I mean, is you know, just good enough for a cartridge size. Then the N64, they kind of followed suit, but they changed the design a bit. They rounded it out a bit. Sega Genesis, same idea. Same size, almost. I think that's when they had it right for cartridges. They didn't need to be any bigger than that. And they also should have stuck with top loading. I didn't like the fact that the Nintendo, you know, you have to shove it in like a floppy disk almost. Push it down and close the door, and you got all these springs that you have to worry about. Always one of the biggest problems. Oh, I finally got this guy. This was just a key. Whatever. I have the master key anyways, who cares? Let's get up there. Josh Rainwater came in on the chat. Oh my, this game, I remember this nightmare. It's still fun to play, but LTTP was more of my cup of tea. Sure, my attack will go up. Alright. Let's hope I can actually save the game this time. So next time I actually go and play this game, I don't have to do that all again, because that really sucked. I have one life left. I think the only place I have to go now from here is, whoa, up towards the final palace. Is that right? Yeah. Now I have the cross, I can get through some of those areas with the, being able to see the ghosts and stuff. Now we're getting into the hard territory. Really hard. Yeah. Josh is saying, nice to see someone on YouTube still plays the classic. Well, that's what I'm all about. I play the classics. I play all the old stuff. To me, it's not old. This was the stuff I played with. I mean, heck, still playing Atari. It's my, you know, one of my favorite systems right now. Oh, no, no, no! Oh, death, death. Yeah, if you're interested in learning about a lot of the classics, I do a lot of videos on them, so check it out. Oh, I think I'm starting to get sleepy now. I think that's my problem. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this. And you're all going to witness this. So I'm hitting the save button. Let's just see for... Okay, I think it's saved. Yeah, 7, 7, and 8. Okay, it's saved. So we all saw that. It's saved. So hopefully in my next stream, I can actually go back, go down there and see if I can get further and try and maybe even complete the game. I don't know. I might not be able to do it in my next stream. Maybe on the next one after that. I don't know. We'll see. I can't remember what is ahead in that section. And then I still have to go through the final palace and then get to that end boss. So, yeah. So Josh Rainwater, well then I'm subscribing. Awesome, thanks man. Because to this day I even play Commodore 60. Yeah, Commodore 64 is my thing. I play a lot of Commodore 64 as well. I also talk a lot about Commodore 64. So a lot of up and coming videos on Commodore 64. Got a whole bunch for that. I got more Atari stuff coming. Got a new segment coming up. Just as a spoiler, it's called 1 versus 2, where I'm going to be comparing a part 1 and a part 2 together. So that's probably not going to be this week, probably the week after. I already got my videos lined up, including my awesome games from A to Z. Continuing that'll be probably on Thursday. I think I'll release that one. I'm on the letter G, so a lot of great games with the letter G. Get out of here and get some sleep, because gotta get up for work tomorrow. Fun. Just want to thank everybody for stopping by in the chat. We have Josh Rainwater, we got Simon Belmondo, Boomerny TV. Who else do we got in there? Now we had a bunch of people. We had Jim's Retro Zone jump in there for a while. We had Rex Warden. I hope I don't miss anybody. We had Primarinia, I'm butchering that name, I'm sorry. Billy O, and who else? Lots of people. Jacob Downey was in here for a while. He had to tap out. I think I got everybody. If hopefully I didn't miss anyone. At least in the chat. Looks like we had a pretty cool chat today. A lot of retro gaming talk. That was fun. And whether I play this game again for my next stream or I take a little bit of a break and do some Atari stuff, I don't know. Usually I'm on the spur of the moment with this stuff. I either decide to do that. Like I've been saying this for the last few times when I've done my streams. I've been hoping to do another Atari by request, where I literally just start playing Atari games and I watch the chat, and then people throw Atari games at me and then I'll start playing those. Because, you know, Atari, to do a full stream on one Atari game, it would just be boring, because most Atari games, you can do them in a couple minutes. So, you know, just to have a bunch of games thrown at you, that would be fun. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to be shutting down, and thanks everybody for tuning in, and hope to catch you later on the next stream.